I'm Dave Like, and welcome back to my pantry. We're going to be talking about this whole system of the GE whole home water filter and my experience with it. It's been, well over 6 months of using it. You can see that I've not replaced it. I know you're supposed to replace this technically every 3 months, but it's pretty clear down here. And looking up here, it's black. I don't know if that's just because it's wet, but I actually just got a replacement in the mail. So you can kind of see the difference between the two of them. That being said, okay, so what's been my experience? Yes, it's still working great. Water still feels good. Pressure is okay. I haven't noticed a drop in it like some people have said. But let's talk about the flow, because there's something that I want you to add if you don't already have one of these. So we go from the whole home water into the water filter. Then we go into the tank. From the tank, here's our pressure relief valve. We go down here, come on up, and it's all hot water. This is a timer, so it'll recirculate the water throughout the whole home and pump it throughout the whole home, right? From there. So we had a lot of issues though. So this unit kind of creates a problem, right? So the water potentially wasn't like able to black flow when there was a lot of pressure in here. Typically, I guess it's how it normally work, but the water was just flowing this way in one direction, right? So where did all that extra pressure go? Well, to the pressure relief valve, and it was spitting on out for a while there. But there's so much rust here. I'm like, it probably was doing that before I installed the GE whole home water filter unit. So I don't 100% blame that, because this thing came with the house. And this being activated, usually I would run it throughout the day, once every hour. That way you always had hot water when you opened up the tap, right? But ultimately though, this added a lot of pressure because you're constantly sending the hot water away while this is creating the hot water, and then it has to replace the hot water. So it just constantly builds up this pressure and it never gets proper relief. It's always thinking, oh, I'm out of hot water. I got to keep making hot water. I got to keep making hot water. I got to get, all that sort of stuff. So this endless cycle. And then that causes it to drip. Also, my tank had one of these pressure relief valves that was made with lead. Now it doesn't. Now that I replaced it with one that doesn't have lead. So that's always a nice thing to think about. And that being said, so why doesn't it drip anymore? And I don't know why my phone is doing that. Why doesn't it drip? Well, let's look up here. And we've got our pressure relief up here. What is this thing called? It's a SharkBite expansion tank replacement. Okay, it's pretty cool. 5-year warranty. And we've got that going on up here because I could have had an expansion tank, like a typical one, a 5-gallon or something like that. It would have been huge, would have been taking up a lot of space. I don't even know if it would have fit exactly where I put this expansion tank, but we wanted this because that's going to be relieving all the pressure if there is pressure being built on up. So where does that go? I can't exactly see the hose. Oh, there it is. So yeah, it drips down here, and follow it this way, and it goes to this guy, and it connects right up here. So I didn't glue it or anything like that, so air can come on out, and we can remove it to see if there's any water coming on out from there directly. But that'll go all the way down and essentially out of the house. So it'll drip out of the house, not into this bucket, because this bucket, doesn't release any water. It always builds it up so you can see if there's water pooling there. But so now we've got a system that is running appropriately. And ultimately what I did was, I said, fuck you. I got rid of this guy. I just unplugged it. So it's never turning on. The water tank is the only thing that's heating up the water and holding all the water now. So theoretically, I have yet to get my electricity bill and my water bill, but I'm kind of curious. This thing was kicking on all the time throughout the day because it was just constantly running, which can't be good for it, I suppose, running as much as it was. And it was only running because of this guy. So this was also having to be plugged into a power outlet. So that was sucking up power and spitting out all this water throughout my whole house all the time. And so now we're in a situation where maybe I'll be using less water and using less power because this isn't having to kick on all the time. So it's a theory, but we'll find out shortly. And again, so the GE whole home water filter seems to be running perfectly fine. I haven't had any issues after installing it, other than this main thing. But again, that was because I never had an expansion tank up there, which I find a little strange. A couple of my neighbors do, and then a couple don't. So I don't know why some do, some don't, if we all have generally the same system. So my thought is some people have noticed, some water dripping while others haven't noticed it at all. So yeah, and maybe I could have avoided even the pressure, expansion tank thing if I just simply unplugged that in the first place and never had it running. But, it's better to be safe than sorry. And there you go. Thank you all for watching this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below. Talk to y'all later. Bye.